I spent my entire time's life savings building my son's future, only to watch him completely burn it to the ground and drag his innocent little brother right down into the ashes with him. When my oldest son, Julian, suddenly dropped out of a prestigious medical school to become a self-proclaimed alpha male times lifestyle guru and podcaster, my husband and I were absolutely devastated. We had worked multiple jobs, sacrificing our own dreams and draining our retirement accounts to the tune of over $200,000 just to get him into that top-tier program. And he threw it all away, just to sit behind a microphone, smoke cigars indoors, and scream terrible things at women on the internet. After weeks of explosive screaming matches, we made a fatal mistake. We decided to let him stay in our finished basement. We genuinely thought if we kept him close, the harsh reality of the real world would eventually hit him. His embarrassing little internet show would fail, and he would come crawling back. We thought we were being supportive parents. We didn't realize we were harboring a parasite. Julian immediately turned the basement into a flashy neon-lit recording studio. We could feel the heavy bass of his awful intro music shaking the floorboards every single night. But our absolute top priority was keeping our younger son, Seth, as far away from that environment as physically possible. Seth was a quiet, incredibly smart kid, and we did everything in our power to shield him from the toxic garbage his brother was broadcasting. Fast forward 4 agonizing years. Julian's podcast had unexpectedly exploded in popularity. He was making tens of thousands of dollars a month, but he absolutely refused to move out, claiming the basement was his time's iconic origin story. We kept our mouths shut solely because Seth was finally in his senior year of high school. He had incredible grades, and we were so excited to help him apply to elite engineering programs. But one cold Tuesday night at dinner, Seth pushed his plate away, looked right at us, and casually announced he wasn't going to college. He looked us dead in the eye and said college was a massive scam, designed for weak losers trapped in the matrix. I felt my stomach drop. He boldly told us he was going to be Julian's brand new co-host. He said he deserved the fast cars and the easy money, exactly like his big brother. Later that night, I found Seth sitting alone in the dark. I sat down next to him, my voice shaking, and gently asked him, when did he start thinking like this? Why would he throw away his brilliant mind? Seth smirked, a cruel smile I had never seen before, and finally told me the devastating truth. He said Julian had been secretly sneaking him down into the basement studio late at night for years. While we thought Seth was doing homework, Julian was strapping heavy headphones onto him, feeding him endless hours of his toxic rhetoric. Julian had convinced Seth that his parents were pathetic and that he needed to follow the path of a times real man. Ever since Seth was just 13 years old, Julian had been methodically poisoning his young mind, grooming him to be his perfect little clone. My heart completely shattered and turned to pure ice. I didn't even stop to think. I marched straight down those stairs into the basement. Julian was live on the air, broadcasting to thousands of strangers, wearing his stupid designer sunglasses indoors. I walked right up to the desk, grabbed the expensive microphone, ripped the heavy cords straight out of the mixing board, and hurled the entire setup against the concrete wall. Sparks flew, expensive monitors shattered, and the live internet feed instantly went dead. You destroyed my family, I screamed, shaking violently with a primal rage I didn't even know I possessed. I started grabbing his neon signs, his cameras, throwing absolutely everything toward the stairs. Get out of my house. Get out right now. But Julian didn't even flinch. He slowly stood up, brushed the dust off his leather jacket, and laughed right in my face. He looked at me, dead in the eyes, and said, "You are absolutely times pathetic. I make more money in a single month than you have made in your entire miserable life. Keep the junk. I'll just buy better stuff tomorrow." He slowly walked up the stairs, grabbed his car keys, and walked out the front door. I collapsed onto the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I thought, at least the poison is finally out of his house. But as I sat there on the cold stairs, Seth quietly walked down, carrying a packed duffel bag. He stepped right over my shaking body. He didn't shed a tear. He didn't say a single word. He just walked out the front door and got into the passenger seat of Julian's loud sports car. That was 3 years ago. I haven't heard a single word from either of them since that awful night. My husband and I now live in a painfully quiet house, constantly surrounded by the ghosts of the little boys we thought we raised, wondering every single day where we went so horribly wrong.